So statutory corporations is the second type of public sector undertaking, public sector enterprise, in which how it is, first we have discussed about the departmental undertaking. Yes, come on, respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the statutory corporation means what? Which the first thing which you have to remember is that this is formed by a special act of the parliament. There would be a special act which would be passed in the parliament, then only any statutory corporation will take place. Correct? So this is such type of public enterprise which comes into existence by the special act of the parliament. And this act only will define its powers, its functions, all the rules relating to this, all the regulations, you can say, and its functioning, how it will function, what would be the relationship with the government department, and what are the rights and responsibilities of the employees, how they would be chosen, how they would be employed. Everything regarding a statutory corporation would be defined in that act. So we may say that this is a corporate body which has been created by the legislature with defined powers and functions, and of course it is financially independent. It is not depending like departmental undertaking on the government treasury. They will have their own financial independence. Correct? And then they have a clear cut control also over the specified area, especially the commercial activity, how they need to do the business. So that is called statutory corporation. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So we may say that it's a corporate person which is having the capacity of acting in its own name, and it has the power of the government plus considerable amount of operating flexibility also, like the other private organization have, because they are financially independent, they don't have direct control of the government. So all these benefit of the private sector also they enjoy. Correct? Now I'm going to tell you one very hope I am audible. Is it so? I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay.
Yes, sir,
So
you
I'm
are.
going to tell about the examples of the statutory corporation. These are some of the examples which you are seeing on your screen, like Food Corporation of India, this Life Insurance Corporation of India. So are you seeing the word corporation is there? Or in Hindi, the Hindi word for the corporation is Nigam. So wherever you find the word Nigam, you will understand that it is statutory corporation. Correct? So what is IFCI? Can someone tell me? You have all the power in your hand. Immediately you can Google it and can tell me. What is IFCI Limited or IFCI?
Industrial Finance Corporation of India.
So this C indicates corporation. So this is also a corporation, means it is also a statutory corporation. Okay. Now what is SCI? Who will tell me? Please say your name and then tell me.
Shipping Corporation of India.
Very good. This is the right answer. So again here corporation word is there. Now this one. What is DVC? What is DVC?
Damodar Valley Corporation.
Okay, all the answers are being told by Aditi only.
So we
Where are we?
actually discussed this in the coaching, that's why.
Yeah. Correct. Then you please keep quiet. Let me ask them, what is the Hindi word for this, which is being shown here? Da, and this is what? Gha or dha? I don't know. You have to tell me. Da, gha or dha, ni. Once what? It seems like the sargam of music. Saregama padhani.
Yes, sir, it is Da Ghani.
So what does it mean?
So, like she told Damodar Valley Corporation, it might have some other meaning because it isn't matching up with the DVC.
So da means Damodar, correct. Then what is this?
So, valley in Hindi we could say.
What is it? This is what I am asking.
Ghati.
Correct. Ghati is the right word. So Damodar Ghati, and then Ni stands for what? I have already told this. You have to be very alert. I told you the Hindi word for corporation.
Nigam.
Yes, correct. So Damodar Ghati Nigam. Who said this, Nigam? Please name yourself.
Sujal.
Good boy. So this is it. No, but this does not mean that all the statutory corporation would be having the word corporation in its name. No, like this one. What is it? RBI. I think all of you are aware of. Do you know what is RBI?
Reserve Bank of India.
Very true. What is it? It's a. Don't say it's a bank. Because the name itself is Bharatiya Reserve Bank. तो इसका मतलब है कि बैंक तो है ही है. और क्या है?
So it's India's central bank and it regulates the finance in India.
Very nice. Actually, you may say that it is bank of banks. नहीं, ये बैंकों का बैंक है, ये सेंट्रल बैंक है. हाँ, इसको हिंदी में केंद्रीय बैंक बोलते हैं. Right? So I think this would be very easy to understand. Bank of banks. सभी बैंक का अपना बैंक कौन सा होगा? तो आरबीआई, रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. ना, ये गवर्नमेंट का बैंक है, ऐसे भी बोल सकते हैं. Correct? So whatever the monetary thing is to be done, this is done by the Reserve Bank of India. We have it in our syllabus. While we will be discussing the business service, then I will talk about it. So I'm not going into much detail. You must have seen on all the currency, all the notes, Bharatiya Reserve Bank is written. And the governor is there to promise you that you will get this much value in return of this currency. Isn't it? Do you have a currency right now? Immediately, can you see it? कोई किसी के पास में नोट है?
हाँ सर.
देखो उसको ओपन
Yes, sir.
करो. उस पे लिखा है, गवर्नर का साइन है. क्या लिखा है exactly? Someone can read. I promise.
I promise to pay the bearer the sum of 500 rupees.
करेक्ट. तुम्हारे हाथ में 500 रुपए का नोट है.
Yes,
यस.
sir.
देखो हमें यहाँ से बिना देखे कैसे पता चल गया?
सर उसपे
So
500
because
लिखा
it is written 500, so it's like.
Sir, you are sarvavyapi.
Sarang, you are very naughty. Okay, these are some of the examples. So whatever I was saying, corporation word you will find, but there would be some example where this corporation word is not there. So this does not mean that it is not corporation. This is not the only criteria to identify the statutory corporation. Please remember it. The word corporation is not only to identify it. What is the main and the important thing, that what is there? Has it been formed by the special act of the parliament? If it is so, then only it is a statutory corporation. Correct? Will you all remember this? Come on, tell me yes, no.
Sir, can you repeat it?
I'm saying
Yes,
that
sir.
the word corporation itself is not the only criteria to identify that it is a statutory corporation. As you have seen that Reserve Bank of India is the statutory corporation. State Bank of India is the statutory corporation. Like this Oil and Natural Gas Commission, the word commission is there, but it is a statutory corporation. Getting it? Say yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This State Bank of India is different from the other commercial bank. Please remember it. They do the work of the commercial bank also. It is correct. Now let us talk about the different features of the statutory corporation. Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
first one is that the first feature which you have to say that it is formed by the special act. How much and what will you write to explain this point that it is formed by the special act? I think all of you are having the NCERT book in front of you. If not, you can open the PDF which I shared with you and read the first point. Come on. Quickly, who will do so? Abhinav?
Yes, sir.
Please. Come on, read.
Sir, what I have to read? I didn't get your voice.
First features of statutory corporation, page number 63.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, I'm not having my book.
See, when you attend the class, you should have it. I have shared it in the PDF format, so there is no reason not to have it. Okay, someone else, Tarang. Sarang, please read it. Salman, can you?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Statutory corporations are set up under an act of parliament and are governed by the provisions of the act. The act defines the objects, powers, and privileges of a statutory corporation.
Very true. So under this heading, you should write this much detail. And as always, I have said that whenever you are writing, you must write this first introductory line, that these are the following features of the statutory corporations. Number one, formation by special act. This would be your heading. As heading is not given in your book, so please take the screenshot of this and use the same heading for writing your notes. Okay. So how much you will write into it? That you have what? How will you explain this? That the statutory corporation are formed, are set up under the special act of the parliament, and these are governed by the provisions of these act which is mentioned, and only this act will define all the objective, that why this statutory corporation has been formed. What are the powers of this statutory corporation? What is the authority? And what kind of special facilities or the privilege they will get from the government to run the statutory corporation. So all these things would be mentioned into it. Hope I made it very clear.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Then the second was ownership. Who is the owner of this? Obviously the government. In your book, what is written? This type of organization is wholly owned by the state. Here, state means what?
Government.
Very true. Because in your civics, you must have studied that to be a state, what are the things which is required? Land, say population, government, and what is the fourth one?
Its
Come.
own tradition or culture.
No, my dear, it is sovereignty.
Sorry.
Sovereignty. So these are the four things to make a state. So as per this definition, is UP a state? Is Bihar a
No, sir.
state? MP is a state? No, India is a state. So what is written here? The type of organization is wholly owned by the state, means government. Which government? Central
Central.
government. Correct? So ownership is of the state, of the government. So the government only is responsible financially. Ultimate financial responsibility is with the government. And they have the power to use its profit. Means who will be using the profit of the statutory corporation? Government, the state. Correct?
Yes, sir.
At the same time, then who will bear the loss? If there is any loss also, because you are doing a business, a statutory corporation is doing a business. Like LIC is an insurance service provider. So if they provide insurance and suppose they suffer with the loss, then who will bear it?
So they will only.
Government, right? State. So
Yes.
state is earning profit out of it, and they are the ultimate bearer of the loss also. Third one is separate legal entity. I think you are very clear about it. Separate legal entity means government is different, statutory corporation is different. Separate legal entity means they can sue a case against anyone, and a case can be sued on them also, means the statutory corporation also. Hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Fourth point, independently financed. Like in departmental undertaking, what happens? Government treasury is there, no? So whatever the income is there, it goes to government treasury, and then whatever the expenses are to be done, this would be done out of the government treasury only in case of departmental undertaking. But here in a statutory corporation, what happens? You are independently financed. Means whatever the financial issues are there, whatever the financial decisions are there, this would be taken by the management of the statutory corporation. Correct? there would be very less interference of the government. And then obviously you have to remember here one more thing, that the finance would not be allocated by the government budget. Annual budget has no role to play into it for a statutory corporation. Is it okay? Could you understand? Yes. No? Okay. Then comes the accounting and audit. Who will do the accounting? Who will do the audit of this? Again, here it is different from the other government department. Like I said, that CAG do all these things for departmental undertaking, but it is not so here. They may have independent body to do this. Correct?
Yes, sir.
इनका अपना खुद का अकाउंटिंग होगा, अपना ऑडिट प्रोसीजर होगा. Then comes the employees. These employees means the LIC के employees को हम government employee नहीं बोलते, उनको बोलते हैं LIC में employee है ये, है ना. या और जो भी दूसरे स्टेट्यूटरी कॉर्पोरेशन का नाम हम ले लें, जैसे कोई आदमी रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया में काम करता है तो उससे पूछो आप कहाँ काम करते हैं, तो बोलते हैं हम गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉई हैं, कि वो बोलते हैं मैं रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया में काम करता हूँ, RBI में काम करता हूँ. बोलना. Why so? Because their recruitment does not take place out of the government procedure. They have their own recruitment selection procedure, and the employees who are selected or who are working, they are not considered as civil servants or the government employees. So they will not be governed by the government rules and regulations of the employees. Correct? Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So these are the features of statutory corporation. Hope this is clear now. Okay, now should I talk about the merits also? Do we have sufficient time?
Sir,
4
4
minutes.
minutes.
Huh?
Sir, 4 minutes.
And 4 points are there, so 1 minute each point. We'll be able to do it. Very good. First point, operational flexibility. The first merit of the statutory corporation is what? They have full right, or they can enjoy the independence in their functioning, and they have the high degree of operational flexibility. The way they want to continue their business, they have this independence. So they are free from unnecessary or undesirable government rules, regulation, and the government control. So they are out of it. So they have the operational flexibility. Second point is independent funds. As I have already discussed this while we were discussing that these funds do not come from the central budget of the government. So normally they do not interfere in the financial matters. Like how much is the receipt, how much is the expense of the their statutory corporation. This is statutory corporation management will decide. Correct? Third point is that it says that it is autonomous organization. What is autonomous? Autonomous means what? Is there anyone who can tell me the meaning of autonomous? Stuti, Aryan. Do you know what is autonomous? Jishan.
Self-governing. So self-governing.
Self-governing, correct. So this is called autonomous. How you should, what you should write under this heading? We'll say that as these institutions are autonomous, means they frame their own policies. They have to develop their own ways of doing the business. So they will have their own procedures, how they will conduct the business. They have their own powers. There is on their authority is given to them, and how they have got it through the special act. So in the act itself everything is written, so they have autonomy, right? So it is for sure that the act may have mentioned that there are certain issues matters. For this you need to seek the prior permission from the concerned ministry of the government. Then you won't be able to do much things into that. Otherwise whatever is mentioned in the act, you can enjoy the freedom of that much. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then comes that it is mentioned here that it may be working as an instrument for the economic development for the country. So this is a very valuable instrument for our economic growth and development, because it has the power of the government as well as the freedom of the private enterprise too, right? डिपार्टमेंटल अंडरटेकिंग में गवर्नमेंट इंटरफेरेंस बहुत है, तो इस कारण से थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है उसको फंक्शन करना. बट स्टेचुटरी कॉर्पोरेशन में प्राइवेट एंटरप्राइज का भी बेनिफिट है और गवर्नमेंट का भी बेनिफिट है, तो इससे कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ बोथ दीज थिंग्स. करेक्ट? So this is another one merit of statutory corporation. There are 4 merits. Hope you will remember it. No? And it is easy to learn. OIAI. If you take the first letter, you can make it acronyms OIAI. Okay, limitations will complete tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so my dear student, yesterday we talked about the merits of statutory corporations. These are the 4. Now I said that to remember this, we may use OIAI. Now, this is easy to remember. So today we would be talking about the limitations of the statutory corporation. Correct? So the first one is that it says that there is no flexibility into it. So when I say no flexibility, it means that we want to say that there is no operational flexibility. It means that the flexibility which we are claiming, so we say that there is a flexibility or there is autonomy. So we may say that these flexibility all are existing on the paper only, but actually or in reality there is no such type of flexibility is available. I would say there is no autonomy, or the you can say there is only theoretically autonomy. Otherwise, the government interference is there. Yes, no. So you may write, in reality, a statutory corporation is subject to many rules and regulations, and they do not enjoy as much operational flexibility as we are claiming, as we are saying, right? देखो है तो गवर्नमेंट का ही ना स्टैट्यूटरी कॉर्पोरेशन, तो कहने के लिए है कि इसमें गवर्नमेंट का कोई इंटरफेरेंस नहीं, बट एक्चुअली गवर्नमेंट का इंटरफेरेंस तो रहता ही है. Is it okay for all of you? What is written in your NCRT? If someone can read it, the first heading. Please read it, the first heading. Once again, I would say that in book it is not written as the headings. It is given in the statement form. So we have to understand it. When we have to write, we'll write like this only. Okay? Come on, please keep responding. Is this clear? Could you understand why there is no flexibility written here? Am I audible to all of you? Abhinav, Stuti, can you all listen me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm not getting your response. This point, no flexibility. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the second point says that there is a government and political interference in a statutory corporation. If you read in your NCRT book, the second point, I would be explaining it. Please, someone read it.
Government and political interference has always been there in major decisions or where huge funds are involved.
See, the huge funds are involved in the statutory corporation. Who's funding basically? Government only. Who's controlling it? Who's the owner of this? Government only.
Government.
So naturally, there would be government and political interference into it. For theoretically, we may say that they have their own management. So, but there is interference of the government and political. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Then point is written here, the rampant corruption exists. What is the meaning of rampant? Who will tell me?
Sir,
Rampant meaning?
Sir, spreading
which
without
can't be ruled.
unchecked.
Which can't be ruled.
Correct. Which is not welcome, which is not a good thing. So that is called rampant. So rampant corruption means we may say that it is, there is no corruption involved. There is no, all the things are fair and fine. But actually, when you go to check them, you'll find in the statutory corporation, there is corruption. Or there are at least chances of the corruption. Right? So rampant means you cannot control it. You are not welcoming it, as well as it is not controllable also. So there are chances of corruptions also. So this is the third disadvantage or third limitations of the statutory corporation. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we may say undesirable practice. You can write it, because only this much is written in the book, but you have to answer it in 30 to 40 words. So please use all these things which I am giving you as an input to write the 30-40 words. Then the last one is delay in action. See what happens. We may say that there is a separate management for a statutory corporation, but sometimes what happens, government itself appoints the advisors to the corporation board. जो इनका मैनेजमेंट बोर्ड होता है उसमें गवर्नमेंट का भी एक ऑफिशियल अपॉइंट होता है, and sometimes it adversely affect the freedom in making the decision related to business. So in case of any disagreement, if suppose that particular person who has been appointed in the board meeting, in the board of the statutory corporation, he may disagree with something, and if he disagree, if he says that no, it's not okay, then it is referred to the government. Now government will make the decision about it. If it is permitted from the government or the concerned ministry, then only the statutory corporation can make the decision. For day-to-day action, for other things, usually this person do not interfere, but if he interferes, then the decision is referred to the government, and then decision making will be delayed. It is so. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
So this was all about the statutory corporation, its merits, features and limitations also we have completed now.